Okay, so what we're going to do this evening is I'm going to make a Pampered Chef recipe called spicy, sweet, sloppy joes. So for that recipe, we need 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil that I have here in the petite measure-all cup. If you measure from the blue arrow up, you can measure liquids. From the red arrow down, you can push it up and measure solids, and we're going to use that for the honey here in just a little bit. It calls for 1 pound of ground beef. I have partial ground beef and ground turkey that I'm going to be frying up. And I have that in our non-stick stainless steel skillet. I'll move over to the stove here in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Get that chopped up or cooked up. We need 1 red bell pepper, which I have here. We'll chop it up in a minute. We need 1 medium onion. I have diced up some of the onion. I have more onion here to dice up. It calls for 1 garlic clove. My cloves are small and I like garlic, so I'm going to use 2. Now, when you buy garlic in the store, and this may sound a little crazy, but this is a garlic bulb. It is not a garlic clove. You take your cloves off of the bulb. These are the individual cloves that you use for garlic. And we're going to use the garlic press to take care of those. It calls for 1 tablespoon of honey sriracha seasoning mix. This can be found in our pantry section at Pampered Chef. We have a ton of rubs and seasonings and meal packets and breads in the pantry. Calls for 1 can of tomato sauce or 1 cup of ketchup. So I'm using ketchup. And again, I'm using the measure-all cup. And I'm using the liquid. I have a little bit more to add to that. I'm draining the ketchup bottle. We need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And we need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, which I have here. I'm using the 1 cup prep bowls. And I measured out the soy sauce and the brown sugar using the measuring spoon that we have. For the spicy bun topping, we're going to need 3 tablespoons of butter. I have it here. I will melt that shortly. We need 1.5 tablespoons of honey. And again, once I use the oil out of here, I'm going to turn it over and use it for the honey. And then another 1/2 teaspoon of honey sriracha seasoning. And 6 hamburger buns. It calls for sesame hamburger buns. I just have regular hamburger buns. So, the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to move you over here to the stove, is I have the meat going in the stove. I'm going to add that oil to it. And we want to let that meat brown up a little bit. And then I'll start chopping it. What I'm going to use to chop it with is the Pampered Chef mix and chop. Now we also have a mix and chop spatula that you can use. And turn this heat down just a little bit. And I'm just going to start chopping this up now with the spatula. And it will grind the meat up now. As you can see, it sticks a little to the mix and chop when it's fresh, but if you let it cook up a little bit, it will work a little bit better. Doesn't stick so much. And I'm just going to use my mix and scrape spatula just to knock that out so that gets cooked in there. And we will just continue to chop and mix and fry the meat up here. This will take just a couple minutes. The mix and chop comes in handy for numerous other things. You can use it as a type of decoration for on cookies, on sugar cookies or crick cookies. You can use it for other meats, vegetables that you want to chop up. Now our skillet, non-stick stainless steel skillet, also comes with a lid. You see the Pampered Chef logo on it. I'm not using the lid right now. We're just going to mix this all up and let some of that liquid cook off. Turn it back up a little bit. I'm not going to drain the grease. I'm going to let some of the water cook out, but we're also going to use the grease or the fat from the meat and from the oil that I added, tablespoon of oil that I added in, because we're going to put our vegetables in here just shortly. So I'm going to move us back over here, and my kitchen is very small. That's why I'm moving everything around here. So as you see, I have our chopper, and I diced up some of the onion already, and I'm going to dice up the rest of the onion. Now, it may make a lot of noise. I don't know how loud it's going to be. You just hold on to it here and give it a few taps, and you see how quickly that diced up the onion. I'm going to do the rest of the onion here. Also one medium onion. And there. We have all of the onion diced up, ready to go. So as soon as the meat's ready. Now, for the pepper, we're going to do the same thing. An easy way to do peppers to get the seeds out is just to cut down the side and cut down the other side. And take your seeds out very easily. There's a few seeds that fell down here. We'll just shake them out. But the ribs are gone. Let me take care of this one. Knock those seeds out. Okay. I did wash this off, but I forgot to take the sticker off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these in half and in half. We're going to use all this pepper. Let me check on this meat here real quick. Okay, I'm just going to turn that down for a minute. We're going to do the same thing with the pepper. We're going to put it under your mini chopper. Give it a few chops. And it dices up those peppers. What it does, if you watch the bottom, as you push it, the bottom turns. If I can hold it. If you see the bottom turning, so it's not chopping in one place, it chops all around. You have to let it come up completely when you're chopping. I'm going to finish getting the rest of this chopped up. And I'm using one of our flexible cutting mats on my countertop here, so as not to mess up the countertop. So, there we have all of the vegetables chopped up. Now, we have the meat done over here cooking, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add the bell pepper and the onion. And the good thing with the flexible cutting mats is you can just pick up the cutting mat, and again, as you see, it's flexible, and I'm just going to go over and mix all this in with the mix all that in with the meat. And we are also going to cook that over medium heat, but I'm also going to chop up the garlic. Now, with our garlic press, you do not have to peel the garlic. Just put the garlic in there and push it out. Comes with a little what we call a Barbie brush. You just knock it off the bottom with the brush. A little bit of garlic come up the side here. I'm going to pull that out. And then you can see the garlic is inside there. So you take these little holes on the bottom and you take your brush, poke it through the holes, and that loosens that up, and you can pick it right out. We're going to crush one more. Again, you just scrape it off. And I apologize for the camera angle again. I have a very small kitchen. I live in a 40-foot RV and love it, but there are some restrictions. So, and there you go, and then we'll wash that. I'm going to put this garlic in with the meat and the veggies. A little bit more there. And I'll bring you back over here to the stove where you can see we're just going to sweat out the onions and the peppers a little bit and the garlic in the meat. Now, you can use less onion and pepper. You can do it to taste. You can leave out. If you don't want onion or pepper in it, you can leave it out. If you don't want the garlic, if you want more, however you want to adjust the recipe, adjust it for yourself. Okay, we're going to let those cook for just a couple more minutes, and in the meantime I'm going to bring you back over here, and I'm going to stick that in because we had the oil in there. You push on the bottom of the petite measure cup or any of the measure cups. And we need a tablespoon and a half. So that is about 4.5 teaspoons of honey. So I am just going to pour the honey in. Until it reaches the top. Wipe my hand off. And we have that ready to go. I'm going to keep working on the vegetables over here. I don't want to. We're just going to sweat them out just a little bit till they're translucent. Onions are translucent, so we're going to give that just a couple more minutes. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so while we are waiting on that, I'm going to put a little bit more ketchup and make a mess. Empty out the ketchup to get 1 full cup. And as we're pampered, not perfect, everybody has a mess in the kitchen at times. So I'll clean that mess up. Throw my garlic away. And we'll be ready here in just a couple minutes to put, we're going to add the rub, which I have my rub out in the thing. We're going to add it. And what I'm going to do is bring you back to the stove here while I'm doing this. I got the rub. I need the tomato sauce or ketchup. I'm going to get another little mixing spray. This is our classic spatulas. I'm going to use one of them. I'm going to dump the ketchup in. Now I could have measured that ketchup from the other end and just pushed it out, which would have been easier. But I wanted to show you both ways to use the measuring cup. Measure all. Then we're going to add the brown sugar. And the soy sauce. Which I have right here. So, once we have everything in there, I'm going to switch to this one. The mix and scrape does real well. And these are heat proof, heat safe. So I'm going to get this all stirred up and mixed in. Looks delicious and smells delicious. The honey sriracha does have a little bit of heat. If you're not good with a little bit of heat, you can always knock some off, put less in. Okay, now I'm going to put the butter in the microwave and get that melted. While we're just letting this continue to cook and cook off some of that liquid. And I have had these before, and I'm telling you, they are delicious. Okay. Butter has melted, so we're going to move back over here, and I'm going to show you how to mix up. I have the melted butter, and we're going to add the honey. Now, you just push this out and scrape it off. So easy for that. And then we need to add a half a teaspoon. And again, I'm going back to my, these all attached to each other. I'm going to get the half teaspoon. And our rub bottles are made for our measuring spoons to fit down inside. We only need a half a teaspoon. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to mix this all up. Now, what this is for is you're going to brush the tops of your buns. Move my hand out of the way. You're going to brush the tops of your buns with this and put them in the oven to toast them. By tops of the buns, I mean you're going to open up the bun and you're going to spread it on the top and bottom of the bun and put it in your oven, toaster oven, whatever you have, to toast them. Okay, this is Jay again, and I'm going to show you how to prepare your buns for your sloppy joes. And again, it calls for sesame buns. You can use whatever buns you have on hand or that you want to use. And I am just going to use the Pampered Chef pastry brush. I'm just going to mix up the honey and seasoning and butter again. I want to get my hand out of the way. And what I'm using, I have one of the small flexible mats, and I have a tray from the air fryer sitting on top of the flexible mat in case there's any drippage. And I'm just going to coat the buns top and bottom, and again my hand's in the way. So I'm coating them with the sauce. And again, this is the melted butter and the honey and sriracha seasoning. Lift this one up and get it over here. You can put as much or as little on as you want. Just get that on there. And if you notice, our pastry brush has a little hook right here that it will hook onto the side of your bowl, whatever bowl you're using. And for right now, I'm just gonna lay it out on a paper towel. So what I'm gonna do is I have the air fryer here. I'm going to set it on the top rack of the air fryer. I'm going to close the door. Where the air fryer has custom setting, it has a rotate button, has a light that you can see inside, the light on. We have air fry, bake, roast, rotisserie, reheat, and dehydrate that all have their own pre-programmed temperature settings. I'm going to use roast, and it's at 375. You click the dial one time, and whoops, didn't get all that. Again, let me go over that again. You have custom air fry, bake, roast, rotisserie, reheat, dehydrate. You have a light button, and you have a rotate button. And it also comes with the rotating basket to do French fries, and it has the skewers to do a roasted chicken, a rotisserie chicken you can do in the oven. So again, I have it set on roast, and you just turn the dial to where you want. Push the dial one time, your time is blinking. I'm going to set it for 4 minutes. It's automatic at 375, and you just push the button. It starts, and it will beep halfway through if you have more than one rack in there that you can switch the racks. I will just ignore that and take it out whenever the time is up. Just going to show you real quick. We're at 2 minutes, the halfway point. You can push the dial and it pauses it. And I'm going to open it up and pull them out. And you can see they're beginning to toast, but they still need that full 4 minutes. So I'm going to put them back in. You just push the dial again and it restarts. Our prep cups come in 1 cup, 2 cup, and 3 cup sizes. They all come with lids so that anything you have left over, you can just put the lid on and store it right in the refrigerator for another day. Okay, so our air fryer has stopped. I pushed the cancel button to stop it. It's going to flash blue lights whenever you have it stopped. So I'm going to open it up. And what I'm using here is the microwave grippers, silicone microwave grippers. And as you can see, the buns toasted up real well. So I'm going to move them over here. Put them on the plate. I'm just going to knock them off. That goes right back in. Now, our electric appliances are not meant to stay plugged in all the time. As I said, this light continues to beep blue. That would be annoying. But our appliances are made to unplug when you're not using them. So I'm just going to unplug the air fryer. Push it back into its spot. And then I have my buns there ready to go. We're going to move over here to the stove. And I'll take the lid off. Oh, if there was only smell-o-vision. This smells wonderful. So I'm just going to stir it up a little bit here. Move you in here a little bit closer so you can see. And it looks like a sloppy joe. So I'm just going to put a little bit on each bun bottom. Okay, I'll come back over here and put the tops on. And there is your sweet and spicy sloppy joes from Pampered Chef. Again, I will have information in the description below on the video.